Now entering Nerdist.com.
Take 2.
We're keeping that in take 2.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
So this is the second take, everybody.
Because the first was the worst. As we all know, second is the best. It's a well-known fact, and that's why you're here ostensibly, because you want facts. We've got facts, just the facts, ma'am. Welcome to Today We Learned, guys. We are thrilled to be here. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. We've got a great episode for you today, don't we, Razzle?
I concur with everything he just said.
Do you concur, Doctor? I should have concurred.
I concur.
Oh, great movie.
Great movie.
But guys, we're not going to chew the fat because that's the worst part of the brisket. Actually, it gives it flavor, but you don't want to chew on it.
No.
I mean, it'd be weird.
Yeah.
Unless you have a weird texture thing. Anyway.
It's a really fun episode. We got a lot of fun facts.
Yeah.
Really fun episode.
This guest, you have heard her dulcet tones before. They were in the form of a guest host during the Steve Byrne episode.
Yes, she filled in for me while I was
off
out of
on
town.
A Black Ops mission.
I was on an adventure of some sort.
You know that movie Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit? That was based on what Razzle was doing that week.
It did not do too well. They will not be sending me on anymore.
Who knows? It's entirely possible. Chris Pine, handsome dude.
He is, but he's in too many other things now. But
yeah,
maybe
he's very busy. The point is, guys, we've got a great episode
guest
for you today.
Yes.
You've heard her on this show. You've heard her on SleepyCast, the official Sleepy Hollow podcast. You've heard her on the Bloodcast. You've heard her around and about town. Yes.
Very talented, very intellectual person, very prolific writer.
Yes.
As far as the internet stuff goes like that. Very good, fun guest, and a great host for other podcasts also.
Yeah.
So let's introduce her, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Sure.
Today we learn number 64 with Clarke Wolfe.
Today we learn. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Hello and welcome to Today We Learned. Welcome back. Hope you guys have recovered from post-Thanksgiving meat malaise or vegan malaise, depending whatever your persuasion is. I hope you had a good meal.
Excuse me while I Google what malaise is.
It's sort of like a lull, like a general... like it was more used in like the 70s to describe the slow-moving economy.
Okay.
Basically, you're just like...
Sure.
You're not doing much, don't feel like doing anything.
Awesome. I like it. I was hoping it was some form of gravy, but
no, that's that's mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Alrighty there. Just nays everything.
Yeah.
Nays.
The suffix nays automatically makes it a spread.
A spread. I hope you got a lot of sweet deals on Friday.
Some sick deals. Hope you wore your trampling boots.
Deals.
Because the only way to get what you need in life is to climb over a single mom to do it.
Absolutely. I'm on board with that. I'm also on board with just buying shit on Monday.
Yeah, Cyber Monday. Open up a chat room, ask the representative ASL, walk out with an HD TV.
I like it. I'm on board, and I just purchased 3 of them.
A TV in every room.
Or
just like a weird stack of TVs like you're the freaking architect from the end of the second Matrix.
I like to connect them so it's all one picture with thick lines of plastic separating them.
I like watching my TV in mosaic style. I put on a bunch of different channels till it makes a bigger picture. But guys, enough about us, because we have a very special guest in the studio today.
Very special.
You probably recognize her tones, because if you're on this website, you may have heard her on SleepyCast, the official Sleepy Hollow podcast, or you've even heard her on this same podcast.
Yeah.
Right here.
She's been on this show before, prior.
Yeah, she was a guest host previously.
Yeah.
But now she's a guest. So put your hands together for Clarke Wolfe.
Oh, boy. Okay, so actually, I was thinking... That was so nice, an applause break.
Yeah, I know.
This is like a variety hour with Goldie Hawn in the 60s.
Ooh, is she here?
I wish. That show would be...
Excuse me while I go talk to Kurt Russell.
Yeah, right. Kurt, don't eat that.
I was quiet while y'all were talking because I didn't know if you were doing an intro or not.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, I better be quiet because I don't know. I didn't know what we were recording.
Oh, no. I was stretching to see if you would jump in at all.
No, I was confused. I'm sorry. I'm
all good.
not a dud, I promise.
Don't apologize.
The key to a good appearance is apologizing right off the bat.
Yeah, sorry for having me, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I
for
apologize.
everything
I'm
that's about to
here.
No, thanks for having me on as a guest.
No, we're very
Last
happy
time
to
I
have
was
you.
here, Mr. Razzle was nowhere to be found.
I was missing in action.
He was on a covert mission in the South Pacific.
I was framed for a crime I did not commit.
Allegedly.
Well, then
That's
I ended up,
Ended up serving some hard time.
serving some hard time and joining this group
Yeah.
of soldiers of fortune. And we drove around New Mexico 7 days.
It's like,
and
which
not killing
movie are we
anybody.
doing right now? I was like, are we going to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
No, we're doing the A-Team.
Yeah.
These soldiers were framed for a crime they did not commit. Watch the A-Team, guys.
Yeah, it's a great intro.
The most violent show that nobody dies in.
You'll see a man in a dinosaur costume, essentially.
Absolutely.
Smoking a cigar.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like a winner.
That's also a prequel to the very smart dinosaur on Jurassic World.
Yes.
He's going to be
She's a highly intelligent animal.
Why would you
Oh,
make
really,
that?
Chris Pratt? Would you say she's a clever girl?
I know, that's the thing, is I was thinking that too. It's like they've ratcheted everything up from clever girl to now. What is it going to be, I wonder?
Clutch your rumps.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm excited for it, but why would you make that dinosaur?
Because
Don't make a smarter dinosaur.
Can we talk about how Jurassic World is Deep Blue Sea with dinosaurs?
It is Deep Blue Sea with dinosaurs. And can we talk about how Dallas Bryce Howard is fake Jessica
Jessica
Chastain?
Chastain. I
Yes.
looked at her and I was like, Jessica Chastain's in this. I
It's like,
didn't realize it.
That is a great Jessica Chastain cosplay.
Exactly. And they were like, they said Bryce Dallas Howard, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And can we talk about how poorly they mistreat the Shamu dinosaur?
They feed him the
They feed
freshest
him-
dead sharks. Also,
they kidnapped him from the ocean.
yeah, he's technically not a dinosaur. I do
Yeah.
remember reading this.
Okay. So
That's
Yeah.
right. Didn't Kyle Hill write
Kyle
something
Hill,
about
our
that?
science editor at Nerdist.com, wrote a searing article, a brutal expose.
Expose. That's exactly what I was
Well,
thinking.
that's why they needed to invent the smart dinosaur because ticket sales were down because
Yeah.
they were getting non-dinosaurs. In the swimming
I
pools.
ride around in this space-age hamster ball.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
I did that last
I'm
year.
bored.
I need new attractions.
Yeah, which 90s sitcom star is going to get eaten in this one?
Oh my God, all of them?
There's, they already got rid of Wayne Knight. What if he comes back
That would be so
as
amazing.
as Mecha Wayne?
He's the owner of Jurassic World.
If they can make a new dinosaur, they can definitely make a new Wayne Knight.
So, like,
We
all the other dinosaurs are tamed, obviously, because they're
Yeah.
prancing around with them. Except this smart dinosaur, like, put that drug in it.
She's
Whatever
learning. Yeah, give whatever you gave the Raptor motorcycle gang at the end.
Yeah.
Which, highlight of that whole trailer for me, I was like, no. I rewound it.
Come on, let's
like,
get 'em,
at least
boys.
10 times.
oh God.
I hope there's
Yeah.
some sort of slow clap speech with the Velociraptors to get them on board.
Yeah, where hell's Raptors?
That's right.
We're going to help you save the
And
day.
we rule.
All I'm seeing is a dinosaur doing the today is our Independence Day
Yeah.
speech to a
Yeah.
bunch of, but it's a dinosaur.
But just
the one
raptor
that's-
screeching.
Exactly.
Raptor screeches and tapping on the
Yeah.
Morse code.
Oh, and Randy Quaid is there for no reason.
And that little kid that Judy Greer sends off is like, if you see anything, if something's
Run,
chasing you,
run
run.
fast.
That kid, his name is Ty Simpkins.
Oh yeah, I
He's
know
the
him.
kid that Tony Stark tells to not be such a pussy in Iron Man
okay,
3.
yeah.
Oh my God.
And does he run?
In Iron Man 3, I don't think so.
Or does he
stood
hide
his
in
ground.
Jurassic
Isn't
Park?
Ty Simpkins also the kid from Insidious, or isn't he in
Probably.
one of those movies?
He's also the heir to the SIM card fortune.
He's yeah, and the Pekin's fortune.
Yeah, Insidious.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Nice.
Good for you, Ty
Yeah,
Simpkins.
you
This
do-
kid has been in some pretty baller franchises.
Yeah, he's like the go-to child right now.
That's kind of
Sorry,
amazing.
Jonathan Lipnicki.
Yeah.
Who is not a kid anymore, and he
No.
wants everyone to
He's
know it.
Stuart Large.
He is Stuart Large. That's really funny, dude.
He's going to be, what's that? Who's that dude who's Stephen Hawking? Wasn't he he was that young? He was the dude in that Peter Pan movie, right?
Eddie Redmayne?
Yeah.
was he in Hook?
He was in Willy Wonka too, right?
I don't know. Who do you play? Augustus Gloop?
Right? Am I thinking of who's Eddie Redmayne? Who's the dude in that
Wait,
Neverland?
Peter Pan and Willy
Neverland.
Wonka are not the same
Basco.
movie.
That Neverland movie, right?
Well, you guys are segueing so nicely. We're going to have to return to all this Hook talk because
Exactly.
that's a fun fact that I brought was some Hook
Oh,
facts.
good.
Finding Neverland was I'm thinking of Freddie Highmore.
Yeah, Freddie Highmore, who's on Bates Motel.
Yeah, okay, so they're both adults now. That's how
That's what happens.
That's how time works, right?
Exactly.
That's how physics.
You heard it
that's
here
how-
first.
That's how gravity works, right? If the
learned
planet's
this
big, it passes time.
Yeah, Razzle, you were probably thinking of his 1998 appearance on Animal Arc, the episode Bunnies in the Bathroom, as
that's
John
right.
Hardy.
That's where I know him. I just recognized his robot voice.
Bleep bloop.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. That's
so
the kind of movie.
Before we get back to Hook, Clark.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
As you may know, we like to start off each episode with our guest giving either a fact about themselves that people may not know or something they learned recently.
Yes.
So-
I have learned a lot of things recently.
That's wonderful.
Actually.
I'm glad you're actively enriching your life.
I really am. So fun. This is not my fact, but I just want to put it out there. I saw Foxcatcher last night.
Yes.
Okay.
And which I very much enjoyed. However, I did not know any of that. So basically, something that I thought was very interesting was all the press I have seen for Foxcatcher is Channing Tatum is a wrestler, and Steve Carell wears a lot of makeup and plays a dick.
Yeah.
And, so nowhere in any of the press that I had seen was it based on a true story.
Yeah.
And I feel like they have gone out of their way to kind of, keep keep it a mystery.
Yeah.
Which is smart because I was telling a friend last night, I saw Ben Affleck on The Daily Show talking about Argo before Argo came out. And Argo, that story
Yeah.
happened before my time. And I actually saw it with a friend who was of the age where he would have remembered that. He knew nothing about that
Oh, wow.
story.
Yeah.
So Ben Affleck tells basically the end of Argo on The Daily Show.
Damn it, Ben Affleck.
And I know, who Fleck?
This is why.
This is why, Fleck. So anyway, the point is that I go into Argo and I'm watching this and everybody's like, well, it's a true story, Clark. Google it. It's spoilers are everywhere. But if you're making a movie, don't tell us the ending.
Yeah,
because-
exactly. That was part. I think I wanted to enjoy that film more, and I think part of the reason I didn't is because I knew how it ended.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. When I found out about it, I read the Wikipedia. So
Yeah.
that's how bad I am.
Yeah.
I went and seen the new Hunger Games, and when I
You
got
read-
home, I went on Wikipedia.
All right, well,
I'm not gonna wait a year, Hollywood. That's not how you can play me.
How hungry were they?
yeah.
they were-
but
Who wins the game?
to be fair, Hunger Games not based on a true story.
Well, hold on.
that we know
whoa.
of. I
Hold on,
know.
hold on.
That was a real
Spoiler
book that I
alert.
read.
Based on a real
Based
book.
on a real book.
Yeah.
There are real actors in that movie.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's just a documentary about what's going on in Pan Am right now.
Here's the
Exactly.
thing. I don't know things.
So, but Foxcatcher knew none of that. So that was kind of fun. But the story I wanted to tell you guys today,
Yes.
It was not about how Steve Carell looks like a sentient bird.
that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And when you read about the true stuff and them, the real guy
Yeah.
and ugh, just
Creeper.
totally creepy. Anyway, so I do the Sleepy Hollow podcast, the official
Yes.
Sleepy Hollow podcast at nurse.com. And when you guys listen to this, I guess on Monday tonight is the mid-season finale.
Ooh.
And the episode is called The Akedah. And so this refers to the story of the binding of Isaac in the Bible. And one of the fun things that I learned while talking to showrunner and episode writer Mark Goffman is that Isaac and Abraham, because for those of you who don't know this story, basically Abraham is told by God, you have to sacrifice your son Isaac, and he's totally going to do it. And then at the last minute, spoiler alert, God's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
Bible spoilers.
Bible spoilers.
So he doesn't sacrifice his son Isaac. But what I didn't know is that they allegedly never spoke again.
Really?
Meaning Isaac and Abraham, not God. I guess they kept talking. But
Come on, please. I just want to chat.
Why won't you talk to me,
It's
son?
me, God.
It's me,
I know
God.
you're awake.
Come
I'm
on.
omnipotent.
Hey, Abraham, listen. But anyway, I just thought that was so interesting
Yeah.
that nowhere in the Bible, anywhere, does it ever make mention of the fact that Abraham and Isaac never spoke again, meaning they never have a conversation again. And so scholars are like, yeah, you have to take that to believe that they never never spoke again. And I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
How did I miss that part of the story?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I guess I probably wouldn't be too hyped about talking to my dad if he was trying to sacrifice me.
If he was trying to sacrifice me because he talked to a bush.
Yeah.
Was it burning? I saw some smoke.
It was glistening.
You should have seen it. You
the
weren't
leaves
there.
were shiny.
You didn't even know.
Did it rain? No.
I do like the idea of biblical spoilers, though. There was I saw an ad they're doing a 2-part 2-night miniseries event on TV called The Red Tent.
Yes, I see the posters, but I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Is it on
Not up
Lifetime?
in my Bible. Oh my goodness! It's the first-person story of Dinah, daughter of Jacob and sister of Joseph. The tagline was, "She had one line in the Bible. Now this is her story."
Oh my god!
Love it.
Yeah.
Green light.
Bible shared universe.
That's great. It brought to you by Roma Downey and her super rich husband.
Yeah. Oh my god! I also saw a very upsetting trailer for a movie called Little Boy. Have you seen this?
No, is it about the bomb that drops?
No, I would much rather watch that. It's about this weird, tiny kid whose dad goes off to war to fight in World War II, and he starts developing the ability to, have miracles. He's filled with divine power. He causes an earthquake. And, at one point you see the kid, clench up and hold his hands up I'm going to move everything, and then you see it basically, he's like, what if I could bring my dad back from the war with my powers? And it's this weird faith-based film.
He'd get whiplash.
It just felt so uncomfortable and exploitative in the worst ways. And it's called Little Boy.
What if he did bring his dad back and it was through real time, so he just he got slammed into a building because
everyone's just lying to him yeah, you did it. Good job, Timmy.
You totally brought him back,
Spoiler
and not
alert,
that the war is over.
This little boy just has a tumor, on Phenomenon.
It's not a tumor.
It is a tumor. I'm so sorry to tell you this.
Also, here's another thing about Sleepy Hollow. I got some facts here about this. I didn't know this, nor did I really delve into it. I really have no reason to know this, so it's also new to me. But the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, for those of you that do know, it's a short story by American author Washington Irving, which was also a part of a collection of stories, also featuring Rip Van Winkle by Washington Irving. It was written while Irving was living abroad in Birmingham, England. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow was first published in 1820. Now, I first came along to the story of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow from The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, the Disney Channel cartoon that was always aired. It was a package thing. So then I got some facts here about that. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad is a 1949 animated package film produced by the Walt Disney Productions and released by RKO Radio. The film consists of 2 segments. The first is based on the 1908 children's novel The Wind in the Willows by British author Kenneth Grahame, and the second is based on The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad was the last of the package films. Disney returned to single narrative Cinderella after that in the 1950s. So basically, long story short about that, if you don't know or recall, Disney, the animation studios, back in the day when Walt was trotting around, they used to do package films with stories they would do movies with they would release theatrical releases with multiple stories involved, multiple movies. They were short movies, 20-minute movies or whatever. But they were originally going to do The Wind in the Willows as a full feature, but because the war was happening and a lot of the animators were getting drafted and pulled to fight in the war and animate propaganda films, they had to put the Wind of the Willows cartoon on the back burner, and it sat on the back burner for about 8 years until they realized that we got this Ichabod Crane story we can do. Then later on in the 50s, they split it up, which is when most people seen it. At least people our age, when they would have the free Disney Channel weeks, back in the day, and they would air the Ichabod
I always loved
Sleepy Hollow,
the
that.
Disney
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow cartoon.
Do you know who did the narration?
Bing Crosby.
Correct.
Ah, he is such a nice
He did a lot of
Yeah.
narrations back in the day. He was the shit.
And the Tim Burton Johnny Depp version.
Oh
Do
my
you
God.
guys know who played the Headless Horseman?
Like
I don't
when he has a
remember.
head? Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't remember.
Who tell
It
us,
was
Dan.
double. It was Christopher Walken
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
and Ray Park, aka Darth,
Darth
Maul.
Maul.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Nightcrawler or Toad or which one? Which X-Men was Ray Park?
Ray Park.
Wasn't he?
Nightcrawler was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal.
As we
He played
discussed
Toad.
earlier.
Ray Park
Yeah,
played
Ray
Toad.
Park was
Toad, yeah,
Toad.
because Alan Cumming was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun Sleepy Hollow fact
Yes.
for all the nerds out there that
Go
I
on.
learned. So Washington Irving is, as we were talking about off mic. So Sleepy Hollow was kind of a nickname given to Tarrytown,
Yeah.
in New York, and Washington Irving is the first person credited with ever giving it that nickname. Right?
Okay.
He is also the first person who was ever credited with giving New York City the nickname Gotham. And so, what is Fox's Monday night lineup?
It's
Gotham.
Irving Central. And Gotham is an Anglo-Saxon word that means goat's town.
So he was the first. I just thought that was so funny
Yeah.
how we've got Gotham and
I know.
Sleepy Hollow
On the same evening together
Washington
at last.
Irving, all up in there.
How did he give it? What was the context? Why did he name New York Gotham?
He was out. He was a bachelor,
Okay.
and you can read about it a little bit more. But like, he was a bachelor, and apparently he was out with a bunch of bros, and he wrote a short story about it, and he called it. He referred to New York City as Gotham City, or
Yeah.
as Gotham.
I want to make up
It
words.
was called Washington Irving's The Hangover.
The Hangover. That was Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah.
The Hangover.
Yeah, basically the prequel. They are all wearing pantaloons.
Well, if we're gonna talk about making words popular by authors making words popular, Roald Dahl. We all know who this gentleman is.
That BFG,
BFG, dude. You know, James and the Giant P,
the Twits,
Charlie and the Chocolate F. You know,
the F Tory.
the F tree. Roald Dahl. He also did a couple other ones. But it kind of ties into authors creating words and making words famous, as well as back to the Disney animated fare. Roald Dahl. In 1943, he had a book published titled The Gremlins, and it was Dahl's first children's book he had written. So it predates all of the other the
I
others.
never heard of that.
And they were
ones.
based on the idea of gremlins sort of first came out during World War II when mechanical failures in aircraft were attributed to tiny monsters on the wing. That's where that whole trope came from.
Wow.
Like, look out the window. What's that on the wing? Ah! Oh my God.
That's why even like in that Twilight Zone with Captain Kirk, he sees that gremlin on the wing.
Yeah.
And it was Dahl's first children's book, and it was written for Walt Disney Productions as a promotional device for a feature-length animated film they were going to make, but they ended up not making
But then later on, we got the Joe Dante classic,
it. Yeah.
Gremlins.
Which was written by Christopher Columbus.
Oh, yeah? Of Columbus
also
Day
discovered
fame.
America.
Yeah.
America.
Wow, that guy could do so
He
much.
did it all. He did
Right?
it all.
Chris,
So wise.
Chris wrote that, right? Chris wrote.
I don't know. We should look it
I'm
up.
fairly certain.
Also, an underappreciated Christmas movie.
Yeah, very
because-
much so.
yeah.
It takes place at Christmas time. So the term gremlins it entered popular culture from Roald Dahl. He made it popular.
Was written by Chris Columbus.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And I guess while we're now on the
Columbus
Phoebe Cates "Be Still My Heart" movie, The Gremlins, the Mogwai. Here's the fun
Yes.
thing about this.
Yeah.
Mogwai,
Is a post-rock band.
and it's Cantonese for monster. Mogwai is Cantonese for
Wow.
monster.
Phoebe Cates married to
Kevin Kline.
That's
Is
right.
also Cantonese for
for
monster.
monster, for handsome.
Kevin Kline, by the way, is crushing it on Bob's Burgers.
Is he on Bob's Burgers?
He is the landlord, Mr. Fish Odor,
Oh,
and
wow.
he is delightful.
I
like
love
it. Yeah.
Kevin Kline.
Never seen this.
Anytime, any place.
yeah,
Kevin Kline.
more Kline all the time.
all the time, y'all.
Kevin, we want it.
It's so true. It's so true. I don't have any more. I don't have any more Gremlins facts.
No more Grem facts?
Other than that,
Oh,
that Phoebe
man.
Cates is now married to Kevin Kline.
Yeah. Let me see if there are any on this IMDb page. They always have the trivia sections are always pretty incredible.
They sure are.
Yeah.
I remember one time on Wikipedia, I was on. Don't judge me or judge me, whatever. But I was on Cher's Wikipedia
Too late,
page,
judged.
and her Wikipedia page had been. I wish this was pre-screen grabs as far as I was concerned. I was still on PC technology, but somebody had updated Cher's Wikipedia page to say that she produced Harry and the Hendersons, which I just thought was the most amazing bullshit piece of trivia that you could ever throw out to somebody. It was like somebody had just gone onto her wiki. This was in maybe 2004, and I wish I had printed it out because it was pure. It was hilarious, all the stuff that they had added or just made up about Cher I wish were true.
I'm not gonna lie. When I get a chance later on today, I'm probably gonna make a fake poster for Sherry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Here's a completely thing that has nothing to do with Gremlins, because there's like sports and stuff going on, and there's like college football that athletes don't get paid for, but yet they get hurt in the colleges.
You mean present day, like at this moment, in this current event.
And that is a thing. So # yes all college athletes. But this is kind of just about stadiums. I got a couple. The Rungrado First of May Stadium, that's the full title of the stadium name. Rungrado First of May Stadium is a multi-purpose stadium in Pyongyang, North Korea. It was completed on May 1st, 1989, and it is regarded as the largest stadium in the world. Now, listen to it. With the capacity, 150,000 people.
Oh, my goodness.
This stadium in North Korea holds 150,000 people. The second runner-up stadium is the Salt Lake Stadium in Kolkata, India, and that only holds 120,000.
Well, but has anybody ever seen this stadium? Like, because this is a North Korea thing, so they also say a lot of things about grandeur.
150,000 glorious seats for our dear leader.
Exactly, made of gold.
Yeah.
That, like, I'm just like wondering if this is an actual place or is this something somebody
the
updated.
only Chili's in North Korea.
Exactly.
It's located in the stadium.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
It's a Chili's to go.
It's a Chili's. Queso to go is like 3 times as much as the regular queso dip.
I don't know.
But you got to try it there.
Third place in the largest stadiums is Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it's 109,000 people.
All right.
Yeah.
Could believe that. I learned yesterday from listening to this show before I came on, because I listened to my friend Evan Dixon's episode, that Mr. Razzle is from Michigan.
I am.
Have you been to that location?
I was there once, yes.
Did you feel you were surrounded by 108 and 999?
I was surrounded
your
by
closest friends.
I was surrounded by 109,000 people that enjoyed something I did not enjoy.
What was that?
Sports.
Oh, well, just in general.
Where were the other 901 people? Could they not make it that day?
They were getting beverages.
They never made it out from the parking lot.
They were
tailgating.
I mean, it's a huge stadium, and it goes down. It's built into the earth, too, if I remember correctly. The Big House. That's a big stadium.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. Like, that's a huge amount of people.
I'm trying to think of the biggest stadium. Fun fact about me: I went on tour with U2.
No way.
What?
Yeah, in 2009.
Like, you went on tour with them, or you were just had nothing going on that summer? So
I followed U2 around. Do you know how expensive that would be? No, I was working in marketing at the time, and the company I was working for got the BlackBerry deal. So BlackBerry was the sole sponsor of the 360 tour, and that was the largest touring production in the history of touring production at the time. And that was the stage. They could only play open arenas. So like it didn't matter how big it was. If they couldn't open the ceiling, they couldn't play there, because they had the claw, this like giant claw that they had like 3 of them that hopscotched around. It took like a week to build each stage. Yeah. And it's called the 360 tour because it was in the middle of the stadium, and it was just a big round stage where Bono just ran around all night. It was an amazing. Oh, and also fun fact, Muse opened for them before their big number one first song.
Yeah.
And so I remember watching in the summer, fall of 2009, watching Muse play to empty empty arenas.
Yeah.
Just like, hello everyone, we're Muse. Thanks for coming out. It was like,
Boom!
Yeah, they were like, where's Bono? Nobody knew who they were yet, especially in North America. I'm sure the European leg was different, but here, nobody came out.
That's
to
so
watch
wild.
them.
And now they sell out in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because Muse is awesome.
I do like Muse a lot, actually, but it was a very cool experience. But yes, I went out on tour with them.
Muse puts on such a good show.
They were awesome. I remember watching them and being like, "This is cool."
They're so good. The things that they construct and build to entertain the masses just is so cool to me. And they're good. They got good music. I like the music. I mean, I almost didn't like the music. Like, I never listened to them. I just started listening to them like a year and a half ago because I was like, everybody who talks about how cool Muse is are people I don't want to be friends with.
Yeah.
To me, they.
So it's like I just kind of discredit them.
They sort of. When I first heard them, I was like, "Oh, this is like if Radiohead made like top 40 arena rock."
Yeah. There was what was their last record called? Because I love their
Madness.
last record.
Right?
Well, that
No.
was their single, but The Second Law, that's what it was. And they also did a bunch of the music for World War Z, which I love what they did for World War Z. I think it's fantastic. I love that record, Second Law. I think it's excellent.
Panic Station was a good tune off that album.
Yeah. The whole thing's good. I really like it.
Yeah, they're really good. I like them.
Muse.
Have not seen World War Z. I need to see that.
I actually like it.
Yeah, it's better than I was expecting.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, feel that way.
Yeah, well, all those
Rightfully so.
reshoots thankfully worked out.
Yeah, the one time in history that it actually worked.
It definitely feels like two movies at a certain point, but you're kind of okay with it.
Yeah, it all works out.
But they're making a World War Z too. World War.
It's Z turned on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how they can turn the Z into a 2. Like 7 with a 7 instead of a V.
To World War Z.
Anyway.
Just throw a T in front.
Yeah,
I see the gears turning.
Let's just pause and watch the wheels turn.
I pitched 7 different titles to Fast and the Furious 7 just based off of font and letters.
3 more on the way.
Here's my question. Speaking of funny titles and numbers, how was Transformers like 4?
Yeah.
Not Transformers.
Because we need to get Age of Extinction in there to really play up the Dinobots that are in it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, to confuse me about things that I do not care about.
Yeah.
You missed they missed a great opportunity to put a number in a title.
And that was the only mistake Transformers Age of Extinction made.
It was because of science and math.
Oh,
Math,
science,
algorithms.
I went and previewed footage for that movie, and I didn't even see the whole thing. And I just remember being like, "This is hilarious," unintentionally.
Yeah.
As with most Mark Wahlberg movies.
Hey, now
I'm a scientist. I'm going to invent that.
Baby, what are you doing? Give me my alien gun.
We're
Let me drink a Budweiser. It's like insane.
Do you want Budweiser?
And
Why don't you like Budweiser?
Oh my god, no! He kicks an air conditioning onto Titus Williver. He's
Yeah.
like, boom! I was like, whoa! I love this, but I'm confused. My feelings.
It was the most expensive Budweiser commercial I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, when the first
unreal.
trailer came out, I started counting all the American flags in it. I got to
Yeah.
nearly 30.
Yeah. That's because
That's 32 too few, my
but then
friend.
count how many Chinese flags there are in the movie, and there's probably just as many.
Yeah, they just digitally scrubbed them out for American audiences.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole second.
It's just a green screen flag.
It's 2 different movies. It's an American movie, then it's a movie set in China.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's just make the same movie and capitalize on both audiences instead of.
I'm worried this film isn't long enough.
We need more longer runtime. Well, they're really trying to hit 4 as in hours.
We want to harken back to the days of
East of Eden.
Of Ben-Hur.
Yeah, exactly. I want this to be our Lawrence of Arabia.
Just about
but for Transformers.
I am Mark Wahlberg. No, I am Mark Wahlberg. I am Mark Wahlberg.
I am Optimus.
I am Optimus Prime. No, I am Optimus Prime.
Oh God, it's too funny. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I like Mark Wahlberg. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Mark Wahlberg as well.
Mark
I like
Wahlberg.
Mark
Wahlberg gets shit on so much because everybody's like applauding Jake Gyllenhaal for looking awesome in his new movie, that fighter.
What
movie,
about Mark?
Southpaw. But because
He always looks great.
Mark Wahlberg in The Gambler he looks so skinny and lost so
does.
much weight.
He looks like a normal person
Absolutely.
for the
And then-
first time.
And then, but like people applaud Christian Bale and all that for losing and gaining weight, but Mark Wahlberg, he's a good actor, and he's got muscles. Like
He's just very serious.
Yeah.
He takes himself very seriously, which
Yeah.
I respect because
Yeah.
he's worked very hard.
He's
I
worked hard
understand
to get
that.
where he's at.
However, it's kind of funny all the time. Like,
I don't disagree.
have you ever? Well, that's probably I shouldn't ask that question.
No, that's
What?
what it
I
says.
was going to ask if you've ever interviewed him.
I have not interviewed Mark Wahlberg. And Mark, if you're listening,
Anytime.
I want to chat.
Hey, Mark, be on this show. I'm a huge fan.
No, and I think he's great. I think he's really great. I'm not
Guns.
hilarious in I
Planet of the
Heart
Apes.
Huckabees,
Wahlburgers.
and all kinds of things. I interviewed him for Transformers. You must have been busy that day, and he was not unfriendly,
Yeah.
but he was not friendly, and he had business to take care of.
Of course.
And he had real things that he needed to talk about. But when you leave, it's just like he has shark eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no feeling, no emotions, and so like when you're leaving, he's like, "Hey, thanks very much for coming. Thanks so much for coming to
He
this
has
interview.
to
I'll
keep
see you
acting
later."
or he will die.
It was unbelievable. He is a shark of acting. That is a
Yeah.
great way
He's
to
a
put
method
it.
actor.
There's a script in the water. He can smell a part from
Oh,
up to
no.
a mile
Wait,
away.
David O. Russell needs me.
Yeah.
I can smell
Why don't
it.
you like my shark eyes?
Doesn't I thought
talking
he
bad about my shark eyes? Why are you
I thought
talking
he was
bad
one of the
about my
ones who
shark
did
eyes?
not get along well with David O.
No,
Russell.
he did The Fighter, and he
Okay.
did.
Yeah, I guess it makes
he's
sense.
pro David O. Russell.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
just David O.
Clooney.
Russell. Yeah, David O. Russell
Clooney
just
and
burns
him.
bridges
and
left
Lily
and right.
Tomlin.
I heard. I was talking to someone recently who had a very negative experience with David O. Russell. They were fearing for their job because they were like, he's going to call my boss and read me
wow.
out. They called their boss. They're like, hey, you should expect this call. The call never comes, so the boss calls David O. Russell and be like, hey, just wanted to follow up on this. He's like, what? Oh, I don't remember what that was. 5 minutes later, this guy already forgot about this, screaming.
Well, I wonder if this is recently because
I think it was 2010.
Okay, because I during this whole press situation for Silver Linings, he was very open about bipolar disorder.
Gotcha.
And I think that he himself suffers from some sort of situation in that respect. And so I think that nobody came out and said it in such words, but I think that what he was trying to say is perhaps the history I may have had with my behavior, maybe now I've gotten my situation under control a little bit more, but I could be reading between the lines.
I mean, I will say, all of that stuff aside, I do enjoy his films quite a bit.
I just watched Three Kings again recently.
So
That
good.
movie is so good.
Three Kings?
Yeah, but that milk
Also with
scene where
Mark
they dump milk all over the place,
also with
right?
Mark Wahlberg.
Was that Three
Yeah.
Kings where they dump milk all over this desert? Huge fan of wasting milk.
You just love crying.
I just love crying.
Well,
Right? That was that movie, right? When they're stealing
was-
gold
yeah,
and George
yeah.
McClune, and they're like,
Yeah.
Well, Razzle, I'm glad you brought up milk.
absolutely.
Oh,
Because
perfect.
Milk
I know,
fact.
I know how to do things. on
Milk
this show.
fact. This is 2% milk fat, 100% milk fact.
That's a great
Ralph
intro.
Capone, the brother of Al Capone,
Yeah.
is the one who invented expiration dates for milk.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, we invented them.
Invented them. The idea of putting expiration dates on milk
I know
bottles.
what you meant.
He invented the idea that milk will go bad. Actually, it doesn't go bad. It just turns into bad yogurt. So Ralph Capone was a Chicago mobster, the older brother of Al Capone and Frank Capone, the Frank Stallone of the Capones.
Frank Stallone Capone. Pause for
And
technical
Frank
difficulty.
Stallone.
He
and the
got
Capones.
he got the nickname Bottles. Hey, it's Bottles Capone.
Hey, Bottles
From
Capone.
not from his involvement in the Capone bootlegging empire, but because he was running the legitimate non-alcoholic beverage and bottling operations in Chicago. So he was on the up and up with his bottling operation.
Yeah.
Further family lore suggests the nickname was specifically tied to his lobbying the Illinois legislature to put into law that milk bottle companies had to stamp the date that the milk was bottled on there.
Why? I wonder.
So that way people would be more inclined to buy more bottles if they thought it wasn't fresh.
That's a good.
Ralph Capone was, when Prohibition was a thing, Ralph, since he was also Elle's older brother, me and Elle go way back. That's how I just call him by his first name.
Oh, I call him A-Money.
A-Money. Ralph was also, he was put in charge of the Chicago mafia, the mafia that they ran. I'm trying to think of I can't remember what the actual name of there was a name for the Chicago mafia.
The Chicago outfit?
Yes, the Chicago outfit. Ralph was the head of the Chicago outfit at the time, and he was in charge of all the bottling of like sodas and all non-alcoholic beverages. And he took them to be such a monopoly of bottling sodas and things like that. They were like third, rivaling like Coca-Cola and businesses like that when it comes to prohibition and selling bottling
At
products.
the 1933 World's Fair, they were the dominant soft drink vendor right under Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was public enemy number 3.
Number 3.
Man, he must have been so pissed.
The bronze medal of crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ralph Capone.
Yeah.
There's Ralph and Albert. I feel like that family loved that L sound.
Yeah. And Frank.
And Frank.
It's me, Frank Capone. How you guys doing?
Little Francis.
Frankie's Capone.
While we're talking about milk is kind of a food, right?
Yeah, I would argue that it is a food stuff.
You know what else is a food?
What?
Pistachios.
Pistachios are a food.
I love pistachios.
You know who else loves pistachios?
Stephen Colbert.
And his eagle.
Yeah.
Because we're Americans.
Yeah.
Rest in
America.
peace to the Colbert Report.
Not yet.
Not yet. Like 10 more episodes, right? 5 more episodes?
Like, yeah, 2 more weeks, and then he goes
Don't
back
talk
to
about
being late
Normal
night with
person.
Steve-O.
Unemployed until he becomes
Unemployed.
very
Yeah.
employed.
Is there
Exactly.
even does Letterman even have a date yet when he's leaving?
I think, isn't it like August or September
Probably maybe.
of 2015? I'm pretty sure it's in the fall.
A year without HuffPost posting Colbert clips?
What are they going to do? Where will the fluff come from?
I really don't know what I'm going to do with myself when Stephen Colbert leaves.
Yeah, Colbert's final show is on December 18th,
Yeah.
and Letterman has not yet set I don't think he's set an
actual date.
final show
but
date
I think
yet.
we do know it's in 2015. But
It
I
is
don't
in
know.
2015. At the very end of Avengers Age of Ultron, Stephen Colbert comes out and takes over for Letterman.
Oh my god. That would be all my dreams.
no Comedy Central on me.
I love that trailer, but there was like the singing, the whole trailer. I'm fine saying that at the end, but the whole trailer, I'm like, I get it. You're Disney. I get it. You're Pinocchio.
I thought it was a cool
I get it.
remix
I
of
get
it.
it. You're more gray robots to fight that have no outcome.
I
when you
do
get
like
killed.
anytime like children's mythology or fairy tales get totally mashed
Yeah.
up with things that are completely inappropriate. I will always find that clever,
Yeah.
even though it's
Like,
been done
ooh.
1,000 times. I'm like, get it? Because it's like that thing.
Because
And
it was supposed to be innocent and for kids, but now it's evil and for robots.
I was also the knucklehead who sat in Wicked and like at the intermission, I like hit the guy, my friend. This is when I was in high school, and I hit my high school boyfriend, and I was like, I think Fiero's going to turn into the Scarecrow, and he was like, oh my god, Clarke. It was because I just,
Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Wicked, like myself,
well, where you had tickets too, didn't you?
I was gonna
You're-
go.
You're just going
next
to go right after this.
I'm catching the $30 matinee.
I can tell you a fun fact about me is that before we get to the pistachios,
Sure.
which are green just like Alphaba.
Fair enough.
So
I did
there's
not
our
know that.
segue. Is that I actually saw Wicked.
Just like what?
Alphaba, who is the lead
That's the
Wicked
name of the
Witch of the West.
Oh,
That's
see,
right.
I don't know first names.
Well, you're learning things. I saw Wicked in previews
Yeah?
in New York
Oh,
City.
wow.
So it was my high school boyfriend was at NYU, and I was going to move to New York for my freshman year of college, where I was still in high school, and his mom got us tickets because she knew I love Wizard of Oz, so she got us tickets to Wicked in previews. So we were in like the third row.
That's cool.
And I saw it was Joel Grey, it
Idina
was
Menzel.
Kristen Chenoweth, it was all of them.
Wow.
It was unreal.
That's awesome.
And I have not seen it since. It's been however many years. I really want to
changed
go
so
back
many
and see
times.
it. Has it? You're such
They've
an
changed the ending
aficionado.
8 times.
Yeah, she's no longer green.
Oh, really? Oh, then our pistachio
She's
segue
bright-
does
she's
not
bright
work.
red.
That dude you talked about, he doesn't become the
He
Scarecrow.
doesn't turn the scarecrow.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He becomes
speaking
the
of...
Tin Man. They recast him.
Yeah. So pistachios.
Yeah, let's talk about
Like we were saying, pistachios are biblical. They are one of only 2 nuts mentioned in the scripture. They're mentioned in the Old Testament
Spoiler
in
alert.
Genesis. More Bible spoilers.
Yeah, Noah brought a male and a female pistachio on the
Yeah. It was. Do you guys know what the only other nut mentioned is?
Yes. I'm going to refrain from making a religious person joke.
Yeah.
Is it
Joseph.
Is it hazelnut?
It was not hazelnut. That came later in the book
Macadamia.
of Starbucks.
Is that macadamia
It is
nut?
not macadamia. No one wants those in their cookies, not even the Bible.
Is it white
was
chocolate?
almond.
Almond.
Oh, that was my first guess.
Is
in my
almond a
head.
nut? Almonds a nut?
Almonds are nuts.
Yep.
Mounds
It's
aren't,
true.
right? Almond joys have nuts.
Mounds don't.
Yeah.
That's right. That's interesting. Pistachios really are my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I like cashews.
Cashews are the
They're
best.
but they're
one,
like
no
the
dispute.
candy. They're no nutritional value.
I don't
Just
know. There's
delicious.
protein in cashews, right?
You could do
Sure.
better.
Nuts. There's proteins in every nut, right?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
What's the nutritional value in pistachios?
Well, I just think like they make the argument that they're heart healthy, and
Oh, okay.
almonds are like
Yeah, well,
have whatever.
They're power packed with fiber and contain heart healthy monosaturated
Yeah, but
fat.
do you know what pistachios are that cashews aren't? Cashews are way more safer because pistachios are highly flammable when stored in large quantities and can spontaneously combust.
Is that true?
Talk to me,
Oh,
cashews, huh?
shit.
Did we just explain the burning bush?
Yeah, we did.
It's just a
We did. The
pistachio bush.
burning bush was a pistachio
It
bush.
was just Abraham's pistachio.
That's
All right,
funny.
detonate it, Abe.
Detonate it. Dad, you're just talking to a pistachio tree that's on
no,
fire.
Dad, that's just our pistachio.
No, I think I know a thing or two about trees. They don't just catch fire. Maybe I've inhaled a lot of smoke. Maybe I haven't. I have this stone tablet. You tell me.
Oh my God, these pistachios told me I need to murder you, son.
Be cool with it. Don't not ever talk to me again, because that would be heartbreaking.
Oh God.
Commandment number 11, thou shalt not steal other people's pistachios.
Amendment 12, clean up your damn shells.
All right,
Commandment 13,
Yeah,
cashews
wait, so
are not good.
elaborate on how
Yes.
pistachios can explode us all. Why
Well,
they're the most
basically,
dangerous
yeah,
snack you
okay.
can have.
Do I need to take my purse, which has pistachios?
Basically,
my snack for later?
Yeah, can we get Jeremy Renner from Hurt Locker in here?
I'm going off memory because I don't have the Wikipedia page pulled up. But in order for things to spontaneously combust, they need to, when they're dry and they're sitting, they need to be able to generate heat from the atmosphere and the air. And that happens when a lot of things that are like lightweight and compact. If it's lightweight and compact, sitting around, it can generally things like hay bales can spontaneously combust because they self-ignite from the heat of the fermentation of the air and the oxidization and all that of the
like different bacteria.
correct. Yeah. Also, large manure piles can spontaneously combust during conditions of extreme heat. Cotton and linen, when these materials come into contact with polyunsaturated vegetable oils, bacteria slowly can decompose the materials, producing heat. So it's basically because it's like pistachios. Individually, they don't produce enough heat, but when enough of them are together, compact, the not breathing of it and all of that.
Basically,
causes them to
they
heat.
have a high content of oil and a low water content, which means the batches can self-heat to the point where they can catch on fire,
Yes.
and they also absorb oxygen, put out carbon dioxide, so they can also be a health hazard
Yes.
when they're in large amounts in enclosed areas. So if you're trying to hitch a ride in a cargo truck full of pistachios, you're either going to asphyxiate or explode.
Yeah.
Or have a really delicious snack.
or just hate yourself. How many did I eat?
I ate so
I've been in
many
this truck for
pistachios.
days. Such a fatty.
So good, though.
Yeah. And actually, they are not technically nuts,
Yeah.
pistachios.
Boom.
Nut fact or nut
Not fact.
false.
So technically,
Yeah, they're the seeds.
them being mentioned in the Bible is not the only nut. Then.
Yeah, they're
So
the
then
seeds
almonds are
of
the
red
only-
or yellow plum-like fruits whose flesh is removed during processing. However, everyone calls them a nut because they look like nuts. They're actually in the cashew family, which includes things like sumac, mango, and poison ivy, 4 of the deadliest snacks of all time.
Except for mangoes.
Yeah.
Those are
I don't know. I know someone who's allergic to mango, so what
Well,
secrets
that's-
are they hiding?
I'll eat theirs.
Yeah, exactly. I
Send
know.
their
I'm like,
mango my
sucks
way.
for you. Give me
Yeah.
that shit.
I don't like mango.
Whoa.
All right, give me your mango.
Yeah, I'll take
I got
it.
no mango.
You cannot have it a mango.
Put up your mangoes. I got no mangoes. Put up Adam Sandler. Talking goat.
8 crazy
Put up,
mangoes.
put up your dukes. I got no dukes, old man. Remember that? Talking goat. Hey, goat. No.
More
Nobody?
classic Sandler. Is that from Blended?
No. It's from, I believe, What the Hell Happened to Me, or, I think that's from What the Hell Happened to Me.
I do remember, Hey Goat.
Hey, Goat, put up your dukes. The Talking Goat. God damn it, nobody else? I'm so old here.
I'm just not the biggest Sandler head.
Oh, man, his CDs.
I mean,
his early
you want
CDs.
to talk about Little Nicky, though.
Dude,
that's a different story.
His early CDs were so funny.
Yeah.
When you're done listening to this podcast, find on YouTube Adam Sandler's Talking Goat.
And then watch Little Nicky on Blu-ray and DVD or digital HD, maybe Ultraviolet or Voodoo.
Oh my gosh, that's quite the
so
endorsement you just gave a mediocre Sandler.
I think
entry.
mediocre is generous.
I think it is too, but I was not trying to. I already offended Mark Wahlberg earlier. I wasn't trying to piss off the other.
We had
ones.
next week. It was going to be a double-sode with Adam Sandler and Mark Wahlberg. They both just
I
pulled out.
ruined it.
I seen Adam Sandler. I saw Adam Sandler at the Improv 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Really?
How was he?
And he popped in and he was so funny. He
Cool.
he played his guitar and he sung some songs and it was so
Was
funny.
he just wearing like a T-shirt and athletic shorts?
He was wearing blue track pants, a blue Superman shirt, and a blue track coat.
I love how he's just like, I'm rich, so fuck you. I'm going to wear what I want.
Absolutely, that's awesome. I would totally do that.
The only time I've ever seen Sandler is also similarly. He did songs. It was an autism benefit when I was living in New York, and I went and he just did a set.
Nice.
But it wasn't
Funny.
no comedy.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to me. Like I kind of really would like to see him do stand up.
Yeah, do stand up again. I mean, these were comedy songs, so they were funny. But I'd love to
Sure.
see him do. He didn't do stand up, unfortunately, but he did do comedy.
did sit down.
Yeah. As we wrap up here, let's do one more fact here.
One more fact.
But I got it's rainy, so we'll talk about this. If sometimes it rains outside,
I would say so.
and it gets
I'd
your
say
hair
that's
wet.
a fact.
It gets your hair wet.
My hair.
And you want to dry off
My
your
hair.
right? You want to dry your hair because
Yeah,
it's wet. How would you
my
dry
hair is damp. I would. This is a good question. I might have a couple friends just blow hot air on it.
Yeah.
I might have a fern leaf waved rapidly.
Sure. You could hang out
or I
underneath
would
the
just
heater, space heater.
I would probably just shave it off and start afresh.
That's the smart thing to do.
Thank you.
Because wet hair breeds
you
disease.
can't. Wet hair breeds disease. It could explode.
Very
the high
much.
oil
Like
content.
pistachios.
Yeah.
Here's a little brief history on the hair dryer.
Oh shit.
The hair dryer.
Let's hear it.
Before the invention of the hair dryer, it was common for men and women to dry their hair using a vacuum
What?
cleaner.
No. Stop it.
In fact, yes. The original model of the hair dryer was invented in 1890 by a gentleman of the name of Alexander Godefroy.
Godfroy.
Godefroy?
Godefroy.
Godefroy.
Gold-
Thanks,
Goldfrapp.
Alexander. You're no Dyson.
Yeah. By taking inspiration from the vacuum cleaner. Alexander, Alex, as I call him, we go way back, invented it for usage in his hair salon in France, and it was not portable or handheld, but instead could only be used by having the women sit underneath it. It was Armenian-American inventor Gabriel Kazanjian who patented the first blow dryer in America in 1911.
Gabriel Kazanjian.
Kazanjian.
Or as Russell pronounced it in the original Armenian.
The Nick told me that the vacuum cleaner also helped with the blood and the collection of blood during surgery.
That show is so good. Don't watch The Nick if watching any sort of surgical procedure grosses you out to the point of revulsion because, it's rough.
I feel like you get used to it though.
Yeah, well, I know certain people that just can't watch that,
Really?
period. Yeah.
Oh,
Like my friend Michelle, she's like, I get physically sick.
that's too bad
Yeah.
for her.
It's a great show.
Yeah, it was not until around 1915 that the hairdryer began to go on the market in handheld form, and this was due to innovations by National Stamping and Electric Works under the White Cross brand. So the standardized portable blow dryer that you most commonly use or think of was invented in 1911, but the original stationary was invented in 1890.
And here's, just to show you how far they've come, the first handheld hairdryer hit the market in 1925. It produced only about 100 watts of heat and didn't dry your hair particularly well. It weighed 2 pounds, was made of heavy steel and zinc. and took them 20 years to improve the design, raised to 300 watts. Nowadays, modern hair dryers, pretty lightweight plastic design, and they can produce up to 2,000 watts of heat and dry your hair faster than ever before.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
It's wild.
Wild stuff. Yeah. Can you believe that, Ed?
Really big shoe. That's what the people want. Ed Sullivan bits.
Ed Sullivan bits.
Mr. Ed Sullivan.
You know, you guys just took me back to watching Saturday Night Live as a young child.
Yeah.
And all the Dana Carvey stuff.
Oh my! Well, here's something that's relevant to the show. Speaking of Dana Carvey, do you know the name of his character in the movie Master of Disguise?
Dana Carvey. No. Not a good movie.
Pistachio Disguisey.
Yes, that's right.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember how bad that movie was.
Turtle.
That's all I remember is the turtle.
That's all anyone remembers is that
his
one
name
trailer
was
moment.
Pistachio Disguisey.
Yeah.
That was his birth
That was his
name.
real name.
He was a disguiser.
Yeah, a professional disguiser.
Yeah.
I want some more Dana Carvey.
I know, he's so funny. I think I read that he was
in some
sick.
State Farm commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
with
Franz.
why?
Because Hans and Franz are here to pump you up.
That's so relevant.
'Cause
That's
money.
They're
so...
here to pump
Because they had
you
money.
up.
But wait,
Because
no,
Arnold
he's not
Schwarzenegger's so
sick.
popular right now, and they need to parody him.
Yeah.
He's not sick. Don't say that.
He's not?
No.
I hope not.
I don't think so. This is a show about facts. We
Don't
need to get to the bottom of this
quote
immediately.
Daniel on that.
Don't quote me on this.
I hope
But-
not. Are you thinking of someone else?
I hope so.
I think you are. I feel like, listen, I have a Google
Listen, he
alert
did-
set to
he
Dana
just
Carvey, and
Oh no, he's fine, I guess. He had
He's been eating more broccoli.
he did have a heart attack, though.
Yeah, and then,
but that was a while ago.
yeah, he had a heart attack and it wasn't fixed properly,
Right,
so he
yes.
sued for malpractice.
Yes, because he's broke. I don't know if you know. No, I made that up completely.
Well, that would explain Master of Disguise. And his role as crazy puppeteer in 2011's Jack and Jill.
Oh no, that makes me very sad.
Yeah.
I
Yo,
mean-
he was on an episode of Rick and Morty.
I love Dana Carvey. If you're listening, Dana Carvey,
Dana.
please, more,
Yeah.
anything. Please, more anything.
More Carvey.
Anytime.
Less.
And if you're listening, don't listen to those two.
You don't want any more Dana Carvey?
I mean, depending. I want.
In the right
Here's
context.
the deal. I like Dana Carvey. He's very talented. He's way more talented and successful than I'll ever be. But a lot of the things that he's done are very similar. Like it's like I liked him in Trapped in Paradise with Nick Cage and that other dude when it was that Christmas movie where they robbed a bank and they were stuck there. But they're too charactery. He tends to be more charactery and silly, like
I should probably
slapstick.
clarify as well that I did not mean
me?
acting roles. I meant stand-up.
Stand up, fair enough.
more.
Chopping broccoli.
Yeah, more
like
of his
sketch.
wonderful
Sketch.
comedy,
Okay,
sketch
fair enough.
comedy stylings.
Yes, yeah. I'll agree with you there.
Okay.
Oh, he
I will agree
wrote
with
The
you.
Master of Disguise.
Yeah, let's not talk about that anymore. It's so sad and unfortunate. It does have a nice poster, which Dan Casey is looking at right now.
Yeah, it did.
So many potential
the
characters.
poster shows his characters of Gammy Num Nums, Terry Suave, Turtle Guy, George W. Bush, and Pistachio.
George W.
Yeah, because
Bush.
you gotta have the current president to really date the movie.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense, actually.
But he
That's
could
why.
do one.
That's why every movie should just have.
He could do one because he could do his dad.
Every animated movie just needs to have a dance moment set to Gangnam Style, just to really, make it evergreen.
Every dude, tell me about that. There was just another animated movie I just watched or whatever where it ended or it had that in the trailer, and I'm like, oh.
Well, I would like to throw.
Why do you need to have dance musical numbers?
This show needs to be called "Today We Learn Pistachios" because also Psy
Yeah.
did a pistachio commercial
He
to
did.
Gangnam
God
Style.
damn it, he did, didn't he?
But I recently rewatched "This Is the End," which is my favorite movie of 2013.
It was very good.
And it's still funny. I've seen it like 3 times, and it's still funny. But that is, I would argue, is the best use of Gangnam Style, is just them tripping out and doing all the
Yeah.
drugs. But it's still funny. I think it's going to be even funnier 10 years down the line. The fact that it is Gangnam
That's
Style.
why, like right now, to me, to that point, one of the funniest things I can think of is just a big group of people for Halloween all dressing as Borat.
Yeah.
Like way too long afterwards.
But the different phases of Borat.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that those girls who all did different Will Ferrell characters?
No.
It was like 12 girls, and it was all of every different like major Will Ferrell character.
Dibs on
you could think
Mugatu.
of. Yeah, there was Mugatu. There was a brother from
Step Brothers?
No, that one, and
Night at the
Roxbury.
Stephen Doug Butabi.
It was just everything, but it was amazing. They all looked like they won Halloween.
That's
it was
awesome.
fantastic.
That's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
I like it. I like Will Ferrell.
Controversial opinion.
Yeah, unpopular opinions with Razzle.
Whoa,
Pro Will
Ferrell.
Settle down.
Yeah.
Don't write me any letters.
There was
Well-
probably not a Darren from Bewitched in
Yeah.
that.
I would be shocked.
I did not hate that movie.
Bewitched?
I did not
I
hate
didn't
that
see
movie.
it.
I like Nicole Kidman. And
I didn't
like-
want to sully my memory.
You know what I
original.
do like is Steve Carell as Uncle Arthur.
Yeah, he
That
was so good
is
in that.
fantastic.
As Paul Lynde in that?
The
Holy
best
cow, he did such a
45
good Paul Lynde
seconds of that movie.
Yeah.
If you watch only one 45-second clip of
from
Bewitched,
Bewitched.
make it this.
Watch
Make it
Carell's
Steve
Paul
Carell
Lynde.
as Uncle
Yeah.
Arthur.
So, on that note, I
on that
believe
note-
we are approaching our time. Clark,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for
Thank
having
you.
me, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Very
so
much.
now we're in the fun part of the show where you can tell us, do you have anything coming up? Where can people find you on the World Wide Web?
Absolutely.
All that stuff.
So, as you listen to this on Monday, tonight is the mid-season finale of Sleepy Hollow. What? And minds will be blown. And we are going to have showrunner and an episode writer, Mark Goffman, on the SleepyCast, which airs tomorrow, Tuesday, December 2nd, on Nerdist.com.
Great website.
It's a good website. And
Very good website.
You can find a lot of my writings over there. But on social media, I am at Clarke Wolfe. Clark with an E and Wolf with an E on Instagram and Twitter. And fun fact, so we didn't get to it. You'll have to bring me back. Because I did bring this article from People magazine in December of 1991, which is an expose on Steven Spielberg's Hook.
Oh.
I cannot tell you how bitchy this article is. It is 5 pages
Oh my God.
of calling Dustin Hoffman an egomaniac, alluding to the idea that Julia Roberts had a drug problem at the time, that Steven Spielberg was out of control of the set.
Oh my goodness.
So I have posted this on my Facebook page, which is /official Clarke Wolfe. You can find the link there, and it is exceptional.
I love Hook.
I believe
oh my
all
God.
of that.
This you have to read. Bring me back when you do
Yes.
90s.
Yeah, we'll do an
90s.
all Hook episode
Yes.
so I can tell
Oh.
people who the pirate that gets put
No,
in the
that'll-
boo box is.
Yes,
all that
which is
stuff.
a great piece of
I
trivia.
feel like
which
Yeah.
I feel like Dan has told 3 to 4 of our guests
Yeah?
who that pirate was.
Well, you know what?
it's a good piece.
I'm
of
not the only one
trivia.
who's retread facts on this.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's Glenn Close.
Glad-
Nova Prime.
No one's gonna come back for our Hook show.
No, don't worry.
now.
I've got more Hook facts.
Okay, good.
There's
That's a good movie.
the pirate who says, "Save me, Daddy," mocking the little girl.
Jimmy,
Tune in next time.
Jimmy Buffett, right?
No. It is another famous musician.
There's okay.
So that's great. Well, we'll all
That's a good movie.
reconvene for our. We should
Aside-
do like a
yeah.
Peter Pan episode.
Why
You
do
know,
they keep remaking Peter Pan?
That is a fact that I would love
Because
to
it's public
learn.
domain.
Actually, yeah, exactly. Because it's free.
I know, but it bums me
It's in the
out.
Sherlock Holmes. Know that Ian McKellen's like an old Sherlock, right? Isn't
What?
Isn't he Ian McKellen? Isn't he or some? There's an old Sherlock movie coming out where he's like old and like. There's another Sherlock movie coming out.
I only want that to happen if he's played as a prospector,
That's
like an
correct.
old prospector.
It's going to be called Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, pickle shoes. It's really just Will Ferrell as the old prospector.
not solve.
Anyway, thanks
love
for
it.
having me.
Yeah. Thank you
Absolutely.
for
Thanks for
coming.
doing this. As usual, you can follow us on Twitter, TWL Podcast. You can like us on Facebook, Today We Learned with Razzle and Dan. You can shoot us an email, todayWeLearnedPodcast@gmail.com.
And if you'd like to find us on Twitter, guess what? We're there as well. You can find me at OsteoFerocious, and Razzle is at My Name is Razzle 2, the number 2, not spelled out, not Dumb and Dumberto, the number 2.
My name is Razzle2.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks again for listening, everybody. Give us a good review on iTunes and all that stuff, and tell your friends to listen to us. Anything else, Daniel?
No, hope you guys had a good holiday, and bundle up.
Bundle up. As usual.
Pistachios, you're nuts.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.